I just really want to know who designed this because I just want to have a chat, man. I just want to know what you were thinking. Hey guys, my name's Angus and today I am going to be attempting to redesign Stephanie Meyer's Midnight Sun because I would like to see. I'm sure you know, but if you don't, Midnight Sun is the highly anticipated 5th Twilight book. I don't really know what they're going to number this one. Is it the 5th or is it the 7th if we include Life and Death and Bree Tanner? It's pretty much Twilight, but from Eddie Ward's perspective. Not to be confused with Life and Death, which is Twilight, but with the genders flipped. It's not that. It's Twilight, but from Edward's perspective. So yes. I don't know what they're going to call this. Twilight 1.1, but parallel? How are they going to number this one? I don't know. I'm sure you have, but if you haven't seen it, the original cover looks like this. I don't hate it, but I don't really like it at all either. It kind of feels like one of those low effort designs for a book cover. It's a weird one. What was going through some brains? I just really want to know who designed this because I just want to have a chat, man. I just want to know what you were thinking. Who okayed this as well? A big release like this. Like, it must have gone through so many people. I'm sure lots of people really love this cover. I know a lot of people hate it as well. I just feel like they could have picked a better photo of a pomegranate as well. To me, this one just looks so foul. I don't know what it is, but not very appealing at all. They just could have done such a better job, but since they didn't, today I'm gonna have a go at doing it for them. Today we're gonna be designing not one, but 2 covers for Midnight Sun. The first will be me trying to make a cover of a similar style to this so it matches the existing books. I'm obviously going to add my own kind of twist to it to make it a design that I like. And then I'll be designing like a Waterstones special edition, like cloth bound, something that people will pay like $40 plus for. Let's just get into it. I'm sure you're sick of listening to me talk. Let's start off with design number 1. So for my first cover, I wanted to center the design around a moon because, funnily enough, Twilight covers have never featured a moon on them. And I know Midnight Sun, like it's called Sun and we're putting a moon on it, but look, it's too late to back down now. Let's just go with it. I wanted the moon to be like a nice deep pink because I have this weird bias towards the color. It seems to fit into every single design I make. I don't know. That's just how it is. And look, Twilight is set in Forks. So we needed a nice tall tree line to like shadow over the moon. I'm just messing with some different blurring methods and pairing them with like an outer glow to give off the effect that the moonlight is kind of seeping through the trees. A big part of selling a design is color and lighting. Like if you can make those work, you can pretty much make anything look realistic. It's the same in visual effects in film, like lighting really is everything. So I should really talk about what I wanted this design to be. I had the idea of like a reddish moon that's almost melting into a waterfall, if that makes any sense at all. Like it's dripping into this like big ass waterfall cascading down the page. It sounds like crap when I try to describe it, but I'm sure you'll understand what I mean when you see it, because a picture tells 1,000 words after all. So I needed some kind of water drip brush or paint drip, and as you can see, my first few attempts of this really didn't work, but that's okay. That's really normal in design. I had to do a lot more digging and searching and music changing to find what I wanted. I ended up actually finding this waterfall brush set in public domain, and that worked really well. So I was really happy to find this, and like once I had it down, it just really clicked. And then you just spend a whole lot of time fixing the lighting again, because it's so important. Even on abstract covers, like you really got to spend the majority of your time on this. Like it's so easy to just slap a few symbols on a cover, but to like get the lighting and textures right, that's a whole nother level of selling a design. Then you just really add in your titles. We got to chuck Stephanie Meyer's name on there because she owns this bitch. I literally just stole it from the original cover because I don't have time to type out her name again. And then do some digging for the Twilight font. It's really not hard to find, but you've got to get a good one. There's some out there that really suck. Also, I never realized this until making this cover, but all the Twilight titles are in lowercase, like no capitals. I only realized this after making the title have capital letters and having to go back and change it while editing this video. But it all just really makes sense now, doesn't it? Like peak Tumblr culture and Twilight were really on the same plane. All right, and that is the final product for design number 1. I'm pretty happy with this. It is a bit different to the existing Twilight covers. I've added my own kind of feel to it. Also, I know the book is called Midnight Sun and this is a moon, but we're just gonna go with it. I'm really glad with this one I could stick with an idea the whole way through. I don't often do that. I often start on one idea and get halfway through and then completely switch it up. But with this, I kind of knew what I wanted from the start and I just kept working at it until I got it to a point where I was happy with it. So let me know what you think of this cover in the comments. Yeah, I'm gonna jump into design number 2 now, where we design a Waterstones special edition of Midnight Sun. All right, so this design was a challenge. I think I spent maybe like 6 hours trying to make this. I had 3 different versions and they all just didn't work. And I had no idea how hard it was gonna be to design like a classic looking book cover, but make it look good. Because that's what I wanted. I wanted a nice like vintage design, but with a bit of a modern twist on it. That seems to be all the rage at the moment with like Waterstone special editions and such. So the first step of that was finding a nice vintage border to go around the edge of the cover. I also made a quick color palette, as you can see in the corner, and the font I have at the moment is a placeholder because that's gonna be a whole other issue to deal with, trying to find a nice font. So I had these really cool floral pattern brushes from a previous project that I used to stamp out a nice symmetrical design. And this was hard. I wanted it to look layered, but not too messy. And as you can see at this point, it looks really messy. And also it won't be white when I'm finished. It's just white now so I can stamp out where I want the design to be. Once I figured out how I wanted it laid out, then the rest of the time I pretty much spent meticulously coloring in the flowers. I played around a bit with the colors and what would go where, but really it's just a lot of trial and error. It took a long time to carefully go over each flower with a color, but watching it back now, it's actually quite satisfying to watch them get colored in. I really like the color palette I chose to work with. I like the pinky orange mixed with red, purple, and blue. I think it's really interesting. I'd like to have added more layers to this to try and make the design a bit deeper, but I just simply did not have time to do that. It would have taken like hours and hours longer. But yeah, in the end, I wasn't 100% happy with this one. I felt like it was a little unfinished. It's so close to being ready. It's just nearly there for me. I'm not really sure if this would be a cloth bound edition or one with a dust jacket. It could be either, I think. I think it'd be really nice on a nice cloth bound cover, but also if it had a dust jacket, we could do some foiling effects, and then the actual book cover underneath the dust jacket could have a whole different design. So there's a lot more options there. I didn't really decide in the end. It could go either way. Anyway, yeah, this coloring and business took me hours upon hours, but it's just watching it back. It's like so satisfying just watching these flowers get colored in. It was also like a nice cathartic exercise, just like spending hours listening to music, coloring in these tiny little flowers. So I got something out of it. I hope you guys got something out of it. And yeah, finding a font didn't turn out being too hard. I just went with a basic like serif font, and yeah. Once everything was colored, I wanted to add one more little flourish that interacted with the text, because that is a staple of the YA genre. Like you have to have your text interacting with your background. I'm gonna make this little flourish kind of wrap around the text, as you'll see in a sec. I could have spent more time on this, but I really didn't. It was just like a little thing at the end to really hit home. And then you'll see in a sec, just to make this even more of a special edition, we added some purple sprayed edges to just jack up the price tag. This book would be so expensive. Like Midnight Sun is already like $30, isn't it? Special edition, they'd be wanting like 40 to 50 bucks for that. And that's the final product for the Waterstones special edition of Midnight Sun. Yeah, I'm also pretty happy with this one. I think it looks like something that I would like to have on my shelf. It's just like a nice, pretty special edition, and yeah. Hey guys, just future editing Angus popping in. I filmed this video in the middle of May, and as someone who has never read Twilight, I failed to educate myself about the inherently racist elements at the heart of this series. Stephenie Meyer's representation of Native Americans in Twilight was offensive and racist, and because of that, I don't really feel comfortable profiting off these books. So I'm going to be adding my AdSense money from this video to the money I'm donating to the Healing Foundation, and I'll link all the necessary info in the description if you'd like to know more. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the original cover and my 2 covers in the comments. I'd love to hear, and I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!